She did more than simply give him a hug. Ladies and gentlemen, she demarcated her boundaries. The internet went crazy after boxing's most fierce woman, Claressa Shields, uploaded a late-night Instagram story with a Papoose as if she had just won a championship belt and the accompanying spouse. It was more than a friendly embrace. This was I don't care energy. And I know your wife is watching. Completely shocking silence. With no explanation or caption. Furthermore, who is the wife? Only Remy Ma, the Bronx bulldozer, rap icon. And the same lady who is already drowning in court drama over her son's murder case. This is the next dot after seeing the story. Remy reportedly screamed, "Not today, Satan." Shattered 3 phones and went radio silent according to insiders. Papoose. He hasn't said anything, not a clarification, not a denial. Additionally, you can tell a man is guilty of something when he remains silent as the world burns. What, therefore, is Claressa attempting to demonstrate now? Why? And will Remy Ma turn the entire industry upside down at this point? Oh, baby. Fasten your seatbelt just now. We enter a triangle. Hip-hop has never acknowledged having the messiest love, and believe me, what's going to happen next? It gives the impression that the hug is foreplay. Here's what actually transpired, and no, we're not sugarcoating anything with one subdued, dubious Instagram story. Claressa Shields, the self-described Gwad, just dropped a bomb on the hip-hop community. No warning, no title. Just her and Papoose, Mr. Black Love himself, locked in an embrace that appeared far too well-practiced to be genuine. Now, if you're new here, this isn't just any old picture. So welcome to the year's biggest scandal. Remy Ma, Papoose's wife and longtime ride-or-die participant, is drowning in the courtroom frenzy surrounding her son's murder case when this perfectly timed, low-light, angled moment was taken. The intimacy is irresistible, and the timing is suspect. Louder than any diss track was the silence of all those participating. First things first, it has nothing to do with friendship. Claressa's position as she leaned against that man's chest, Papoose's half-smirk, half-smile expression said, "Yeah, I know this looks bad. Baby, this hug wasn't a mistake, it was a move. A message and a mic drop for the messiest triangle since Safri, Nicki, and Meek. Now, let's talk characters. Claressa Shields, the unbeaten boxing champion with a killer jab and an even more deadly Instagram strategy, is the first. She's loud, brash, and doesn't care what people think. She calls herself the realest in the room. And after this post, she might also be the pettiest. Papoose, Mr. Loyalty, the man who created a whole brand around being the most devoted husband in rap history, and the same man, and of course, Remy Ma, the queen pin, Bronx-born, razor-tongued, and fearless, is now under fire from all sides. Her son is facing a murder charge. She is being dragged into court amid whispers of obstruction. And while she is barely holding her name together, her husband is out here posing like a free agent. He stood outside prison gates for 6 years, waiting for Remy to return home, writing songs, poems, and love letters. And it just broke in front of 4 million followers. You see the setup now? This is where it gets dirty. Remy's close friends say this isn't the first time Claressa has gone too far. One anonymous assistant claims that Claressa has been attracted to Papoose since they first met backstage at an awards show in 2022. The assistant, who will go by Nicki with 2 kiloseconds, said that Claressa made it clear that she thought he was smart, disciplined, and quietly fine. At the time, everyone assumed it was just fangirl behavior. But guess who kept attending private events? Guess who began posting inspirational boxing quotes under his posts? Guess who DM'd him a video of her working out in the same color sweatshirt he wore during a bet cipher? Coincidence? Please. Now, let's start the hug, because that's what broke the timeline. The photo wasn't just a close-up with soft lighting, it was carefully curated, with Claressa's hand visible, her nails done, and her diamond bracelet glinting. Papoose's head turned just enough to show he wasn't pushing her away, and the angle was taken from behind someone else's shoulder, indicating that a third party was involved. A third party stood by, observed the events, and decided to video them. No one had the audacity to comment, "Hey, maybe don't post this while the wife is literally on trial by association." Yes, it was instantaneous. Sis immediately chose the nuclear option and following and erasing instead of waiting, drafting a notes app statement, or even calling Papoose after the story broke. Remy removed all of her pictures of Papoose from her grid within 30 minutes. It was as if he had never sat next to her on Wendy Williams' couch and talked about loyalty. Then, the real dagger came in the form of a mysterious tweet that read, "I gave y'all loyalty, and you gave me pure stunts. No name, no tag, just smoke." The fans understood the assignment, and Twitter went into a frenzy. One user wrote, "Remy just beyond saying pics and dropping bars," according to another. Claressa switched between sparring and the ring. "You're fighting for?" TikTokers are syncing her workout videos to Papoose's recent tracks in search of subliminals. and Reddit threads have emerged analyzing her eye contact during the hug. One user claims that the beat of her most recent promo video matches a track that Papoose teased in a deleted Instagram live last month. Is this petty? Of course. But welcome to the internet. The evidence is stacked in the court of public opinion. But the real kicker is that this scandal is seeping into Remy Ma's legal world. One courthouse source claims that Ray's defense team is not happy with the sudden attention, saying this drama isn't just messy, it's distracting. We're trying to keep focus on a murder trial. And now we've got memes and fan theories flooding the courtroom inbox. 2 days later, guess who appeared outside the courthouse? Claressa Shields are wearing sunglasses, flanked by security. When asked if she was there to support Remy, she simply replied, "I'm just here for the truth." Be serious, ma'am. The whispering groomer has it that Remy is not just angry but furious. According to people close to her, she has been calling her legal team constantly, asking if there is a way to prevent the media from watching the trial. Some claim she is preparing a private sit-down interview, while others say she intends to file for separation from Papoose confidentially for the time being. However, let's face it, nothing is quiet anymore. She never even entered the building. She simply walked the steps, took a few pictures, and dipped like it was a red carpet in one hug. Just one silent photo that tore the entire image apart at the seams. And we haven't even reached the burner phone messages yet because yes, there's more. Apparently, a voice memo sent just hours after the photo went live was accidentally leaked by a close friend of Claressa, in which a woman who sounds suspiciously like Claressa is quoted as saying, "I told him they'd call me a homewrecker, but house has been destroyed," he claimed. What is she saying? Papoose told her that the marriage was already dead. Is this how she justified the post? Or is this just another carefully crafted quote to keep the spotlight spinning? In any case, things are about to blow up because, according to an anonymous PR insider, someone is going to release screenshots. So let's get messy because just when we thought Claressa's hug scandal was chaotic enough, a so-called close friend of hers just leaked voice memos and screenshots. That sent the internet into a whirlpool of gossip. And in the leaked voice note, a woman who sounds exactly like Claressa Shields says, "He told me he hasn't been happy in years though." No, baby, these were direct and filtered, and dripping with a kind of petty energy that can turn a love triangle into a full-blown celebrity homicide case. The marriage is a brand, he informed me. It was just that. And he informed me that I'm the only person who gives him a sense of authenticity. Then stop. Let it simmer because if and this is a big if Papoose said that it's character assassination, rather than cheating. Additionally, it is emotional treason for a man to have created whole mixtapes expressing his love for Remy while she was incarcerated. But hold on, it gets worse. According to the screenshots, Papoose allegedly messages Claressa, saying things like, "We need to move more strategically. They're watching right now. Don't post anything for long." Well, guess what, Pap? She posted the, and that's where the internet crowned Claressa Shields the new queen of I said what I said. Now, let's talk about public reactions because this thing went viral like an unreleased Drake and Kendrick D song within hours of the voice memo leaking. Hashtag Papoose singing was trending on Twitter, with fans insulting him with memes that compared him to all the fake loyal men in history. One even changed the Black Love logo to say Backstab Love. And sure enough, it went viral. Meanwhile, Remy Ma fans weren't just furious. They were organizing. Launched a whole hashtag Protect Remy movement, accusing Claressa of emotional opportunism and demanding that brands cut ties with her. Oh, the brands noticed. A major energy drink that sponsors Claressa's fights reportedly suspended their partnership, citing inappropriate conduct and a violation of personal ethics. Another boxing brand unfollowed her in a stealthy manner. But fans caught it and made sure screenshots flew faster than Claressa's. Resta's out here doubling down like she's in a beef, but the entire rap game together. I share who I *CK with. Maybe you should inquire as to why it resonates with you if it makes you uncomfortable, mum. She said that with her chest. No retractions, no apologies, just vibes, and that only fueled the flames. But wait, here's the bombshell. A verified gossip blogger who exposes industry mess suddenly released a report claiming that Claressa Shields and Papoose have been secretly spotted together more than 6 times in the last 4 months, including a private suite at a Brooklyn Nets game. This isn't even the biggest twist, though, because the same blogger claims to have a blurry screenshot from hotel security footage taken 2 weeks prior to the Instagram hug that shows Claressa and Papoose entering a hotel room together at 11:42 p.m. and not leaving until 9:27 a.m. The restaurant in Harlem is notorious for its no-phone policy. And the most scandalous of all is a spa retreat in Miami. A spa in Miami while Remy was in New York attending court hearings for her son. Now, Let's move to the courtroom. Because the scandal isn't just staying online, it's beginning to interfere with Remy Ma's trial presence. According to sources, she missed a crucial day in court. Claressa's team naturally described it as fake right away, claiming Photoshop misrepresentation and that the old-fashioned people will stop at nothing to gain influence. Despite her legal team's claim of personal stress, insiders claim she had a private breakdown after seeing the leaked screenshots. One source, a courtroom clerk who has a friend in security, claimed they heard Remy yelling, "I held him down for years. I gave up my freedom for him, and he gave me this." Another whispered, "Now listen, whether that's true or not, what matters is this: Remy is destroying her reputation, her focus, and her self-esteem. And that means this little love scandal might just be affecting her legal case." Fans are urging Pap to speak up, to say something, anything. But the silence is deafening because when you build your entire brand on love, loyalty, and protection and then disappear during the scandal, people assume the worst. Remy's longtime friend Fat Joe added his own subtle input by tweeting a single emoji, fire, not a caption, no description. The admirers immediately made the connection between it and the drama. Even Fat Joe said this house is burning to the ground. But we're not done, because guess who just entered the chat? Was the response from one participant, Yandy Smith. Yes, Yandy, the queen of hip-hop and love, posted a now-deleted Instagram comment that said, "Sometimes the people who appear loyal on TV are the messiest behind closed doors. You can ask me how I know." Following a Shea Blogs post about Claressa and Pap, fans began tagging Remy right away, and Chili, that was a bullet with a lace front, even wrote, "Yandy is tempted to spill the tea she got." What is it that Yandy knows? Is this drama more ancient than we initially believed? Were there additional female members? Claressa's uppercut is not becoming as deep as a rabbit hole is. And right as this online war was peaking, Remy Ma posted her first video since the hug scandal. No words, just her walking slowly in all black shades with a caption, "Funeral vibe." And the funeral atmosphere made the fans go crazy. Is it for Claressa's reputation or her marriage? Or is she saying that she's going to bury them both? Figuratively, of course. But here's the unexpected twist. Remember the Miami spa? It turns out that someone from the hotel staff sold an anonymous interview to a podcast, claiming that Claressa and Pap checked in under the names Miss Steele and Mr. Warner. But here's the thing, those are Papoose's government surname and a boxing alias that Claressa used early in her career. And just when the internet thought the story had peaked, it turned out that the PI had a wiretap that unintentionally captured audio from a conversation Claressa had while staying at a Miami hotel. According to one very wild theory on TikTok, this whole thing might be a distraction from an even bigger story Ray's been hiding. Fans are now wondering if this was a long play, if Claressa is trying to get Remy to have a breakdown so she folds in court, or if this is all a front for something deeper. He warned me that she was already too deeply involved, that her name was on the wrong documents, and that she would be the first to go down if it were revealed. Now, if you're wondering, wait, who is she talking about? This is about cover-ups, paper trails, and potential legal exposure. But who is she, Remy, and what are the documents? Well, a second leaked memo might have the answer. That same source stated a burner phone. Yes, another burner phone was found inside a former Remy Ma assistant. The text thread suggested a payout agreement between Remy and someone involved in the Darius Gilbo murder case, the same case where her son is on trial. For you still with us, because it gets wilder, and it appears that Claressa and Papoose may have been aware of it the entire time. Additionally, one thread suggests that Pap attempted to disassociate himself from the paper trail by pressuring Remy to sign off on everything under her name. One purported message from Papoose reads, "Keep it clean, save it dot beneath her." If accurate, this suggests that Claressa's embrace revelation may have been a public warning shot a subdued way of saying, "Don't make me talk," rather than a sign of love. Remy may have finally understood because, following days of disappearing, she reappeared not on social media or in a studio in a private meeting with her legal team and, rumor has it, an FBI liaison. Why? Because the evidence from the burner phone may have moved from messy drama to the realm of federal investigation. And some are even claiming that this is the start of a full-blown celebrity RICO case. If you don't think that sounds dramatic, you haven't been paying much attention to the music industry lately. Let's align the facts. Claressa Shields posts an embrace, but then drops it like a clue. Screenshots leak, voice memos follow, public opinion changes, and she's linked to deeper secrets. Wiretaps, burner phones, and now alleged hush money. He deletes photos and cancels interviews. And Papoose remains silent and missing, as if he had dipped before the explosion. Here's the twist. According to an industry source who spoke to a popular podcast, Claressa Shields has been quietly blackballed from a number of big entertainment deals, not because of the hug, but because she allegedly threatened to release a second wave of receipts involving two major rap labels and a female veteran artist. With legal exposure, fans started speculating names right away, but Remy Ma kept coming up. Therefore, the theory is that Claressa wasn't just exposing Papoose, but rather sending a message to everyone involved in Remy's legal drama. Essentially declaring, "I am not scared to share what I know with the world. This isn't about love." If that's the case, it all comes down to power, according to one TikTok theory. The hug post was even part of a blackmail tactic in which Claressa allegedly threatened to release the full audio from Miami if Ray's team didn't keep her name out of the case. Remy didn't listen, and now there are stories everywhere, courtrooms under surveillance, and Papoose, the once spotless husband, is now being investigated for financial ties to private accounts allegedly used to move money during the cover-up. Do you want to know what those accounts were called? One was Rebirth LLC, and the other was Bronx B3. Both were shell companies with no official business activity, and they were allegedly connected to one of Ray's former assistants. Claressa tweeted, "It's never about the first punch, it's about the knockout, that's it." She isn't even trying to hide it anymore. Is Claressa working with the feds the entire time? Did Papoose flip before Remy ever suspected it? Was this emotional embrace merely a diversion while they moved pieces behind the scenes? Remy's silence was deafening because, in a last-ditch effort to control the damage, her team reportedly attempted to file an emergency injunction to stop certain content from being aired in court, but the judge denied it. Why? We're left with this hug that rocked the internet because the audio wasn't stolen, but rather voluntarily turned over by an anonymous whistleblower. You already know who fans believe that whistleblower is. Did Claressa Shields destroy a marriage? Or did she simply expose what was already broken? Is Papoose the villain? Or was he simply fed up with acting? And Remy Ma, the woman who survived public betrayal, industry shame, and prison, is she going to rise from the ashes? Or is it your turn now? Leave a comment below. Is Claressa a homewrecker or a whistleblower? Should Papoose have spoken up sooner? Will Ray's silence?